Mm. Registralo questo qua, che si è cancellato. Vedi se fa più tardi. Vedi se fa più tardi. Non su un altro canale.
Hello and welcome to round 10 of Dynamic Racing League F1 2018 main championship. As always, well, not as always, but as always, I shall not be commentating on the 3-lap race because I never do, but I am here, and so is Cloudy to ACC, Claudio.
Hey everyone.
So we will join you after the practice race.
It's up. No, yes. What the actual fuck are you all doing?
And it's lights out and away we go. Sebastian Vettel gets a flyer. Oh, and he wanted to go down the inside.
Do whatever he doesn't do.
Whoa. It's my bad. Yeah. No, and that's going to ruin the undercut attempt. This was an undercut attempt on Valtteri Bottas. Fantastic weekend all round. Really, really solid.
Apumut K.
Fantastic weekend all round. Really, really solid.
Yeah, it was me. Yeah, it was me.
Hello. Oh wow, that was really great start there. Hello and welcome to round 10 of Dynamic Racing League F1 2018 from Britain, more specifically Silverstone. You're joined here today by myatesftw F1 2016 and F1 2017 Dynamic Racing League champion. With me today
Claida ACC.
is Claita ACC, as he just introduced himself, who is the F1 2014 Dynamic Racing League champion. So there's more championships. There isn't. Just about more championships up here than there are on the track. So let's start off, as we always do, with a rundown of the championship so far. In first position in the championship is currently Alpu Mutke with 114 points, as we look to see what the weather is doing. It's a bit overcast, but may not necessarily be rain. In second place in the championship is Orb King, 9 points behind on 103 points. 5 points behind that is Fazillo 97 with 98 points. If only had 1 point less, it would make his name even more accurate. In fourth place is Mathijus FTW Baby, 75 points. Fifth place is Little Paul, 78. Sixth, Jay Yayor. Seventh, Perry the Dog, 6. Eighth is Abijagu Jagua, 16. Ninth is Storm 2006 UK. And still in the top 10, Claudio, is Claita ACC.
You're still in the top 10. Nice.
You're still in the top 10. Can you hold it off until Germany and be in the top 10 from halfway through this season? As I see there are some cars coming out onto the track now. I believe it was a Ferrari, but will it be the first car out on track? We shall wait and see, as it's still saying that everyone's in the pit lane. So Brazil is now coming out to Mattis. FTW Baby is coming out onto the track.
It looks like it could rain.
It definitely does look like it could rain. If anyone's got any information that can help here, let us know. Is it forecast for rain now or in the race later on? So, let's look at the constructors' standings. At the top of the constructors' standings currently, thanks to Alpu Mutke and Abijagu Jagua, 16, is Williams with 159 points. In second place is Force India with 137. And in third place is Ferrari with 111. Fourth, Renault. Fifth, Red Bull. Sixth, McLaren. Seventh is Toro Rosso. Eighth, Mercedes. Ninth, Haas. And 10th, Sauber. So we've just got news that it is supposedly going to rain in 40 minutes. So I would presume that means that it isn't going to rain at all in qualifying, of course. So let's have a look at who's going to be the first one to complete their lap. So let's ride on board with Mattis as he starts his first flying lap around this track, going through the first corner, a bit wide on exit, 100 metre board, breaks down into second gear. I would have stayed in third, but of course I no longer race. Second gear on to the back straight. It's Blasnik has retired from the session, so maybe some sort of crash there. With DRS wide open, with Mattis coming down towards what was the old pit straight. Quite a lot of energy still to deploy in his system. Quick right-hander here as we come down towards Maggots and Beckett's. Nicely hooked up there as we come back to the hanger straight. It's completely off the track, and will he get a corner cutting warning? Doesn't seem to have any lights flashing on his dashboard. Seems to turn the switches down, so I presume that he has abandoned this lap. So, let's have a look what other people are doing on the track currently. Mr. Chitwood, is he about to start a lap? Is he just about finished one. So Bitter Chipmunk completes his lap on the soft tyres to a 1:28.1 as the opening time. Liverpool was just beaten that, driving for Aston Martin Red Bull Racing with a 1:27.7. So what sort of times are we looking at? Well, last year in 2017, Caddick Rist was on pole with a 1:27.8, which wasn't a dry. If you look back to 2016 poles, a 1:46.286, and I was on pole, well, that was a very wet session. Of course, the cars have drastically changed since 2016. So the current order is Little Paul 78 in pole position, of course, but we've got 13 minutes left. Biffa Chipmunk in second place, Stalled 2006 UK in third, and was fourth, but now fifth. Jeff Singleton now sixth is Jeff Singleton. So some people are starting to set some really serious times here. Let's see who is on a lap at the moment. We've got yellow flag in sector 3, and El Scaife has had to retire from the session. Very interesting. So, Filter Matt, is he on a flying lap? I don't think so. Let's have a look. We've got yellow flags in sector 1, 2 and 3 now, as a lot of things clearly are going on track. And Alpu Mutke has just jumped up into pole position there. So let's ride on board with him. Claudia, do you want to talk through Alpu Mutke's lap?
Yes, first of all, this is one of my favorite tracks because it's very technical, and we are now approaching the Beckett's. It's oh yeah, about to do the lap.
We got a bit caught up there with Jayor, didn't we?
Yeah.
So I think, as you said, he looks like he's aborted. He's 1.2 seconds down, so I'd be surprised if he hasn't aborted.
He's probably going to launch again.
So I would presume he's pitting because he's very set time with his tyres. He probably want to save it a little bit. Yeah, so he's coming into the pits now along with Jayor. Abijugu again would presume is going to come into the pits. Yeah. So I think everyone's just making their way back round now after their opening runs. Although Jeff Singleton is a tenth up on the time he set earlier on. So let's have a look how this one.
Fusillo left. Fusillo left.
So Fusillo has left the session. Fusillo's often been performing really, really well this year. Let's have a look back at some of the results. So last race he finished
Fusillo
third.
left
And where did he finish in? So no, yeah, last race he finished third in Austria, and in France he finished third, and in Canada he finished second. In Monaco, of course, he won. In Spain he finished. Did he even finish? Finished 14th. So Spain wasn't a good result for him. In Baku he finished first. I'm losing my place now. Did he? I think Baku was his first race. So some good results there. Unfortunately, hasn't had the opportunity, it appears, this race to show his potential. Okay, so
he's going to start 14th.
So he will start 14th, or 15th possibly. So unfortunately his name's just flashed up. Yes, you're right, he will start 14th. So I just got a message. There's a message from Alpha Mutke. Jayor, be more careful, please. You got me there, had to abort. I can definitely improve. So, okay, so that was. I do have to agree with Alpha Mutke there. What was your take on that incident, Alpha Mutke and Jayor?
Probably Jayor wasn't paying attention at all because he wasn't on a quick lap, on a fast lap, so he definitely blocked Alpha Mutke.
Exactly, as I've been riding on board with Hicksy, who goes straight into the barriers through turn 1. Tried setting up a lap by going wide on the final corner to try and give himself the best run through that section of the track, but he's just launched himself into the barrier on the inside of turn 1, and there was nothing he could possibly do there to avoid that accident. Just carried too much speed, the car wasn't going to grip, and the car was way too loose through that corner. So that is Hicksy123 out of this session. So let's ride on board with Orb King, who's just finished his lap, or is he starting up? Definitely just finished his lap. He's going way too slow, not enough fuel. So Orb King now in 3rd position. So let's do a run through of the order as it stands at the moment. In provisional pole position is Alpu Mutke with a 126.8. In 2nd place is Jay Yayor driving for Renault. In 3rd is Orb King, there's a yellow flag in sector 1 and 2 now, probably for someone getting out of the way. In 4th place is Abajagu Jagua, 16. In 5th place is Little Pool, 78. In 6th place is Storm 2006 UK. 7th is Biff the Chipmunk, now coming back into the pits. In 8th is Hughes Moves. 9th is Hixie. 10th is Bilton Nat. 11th is Jeff Sington. 12th is Fazillo 97, who you said left the session, but I believe he is back now. Yes, he's back on track, so he must have rejoined the session. In 12th place is Blasmuk. In 14th place is myatesftw Baby. And 15th is Alscape 55. And Gogs 27 is in 16th. So, who should we watch out for here? Jay Ayor is on a quick lap going through Maggots and Beckett's now. Let's see what tyres people set their fastest lap on.
Do you think that deserves the penalty?
Jay Ayor holding up. Well, it's one of those things that I believe if Alpu Mutke wasn't on the top and come end of the session, he isn't at the top, it probably deserves a penalty. But if nothing comes of it and Alpu Mutke still takes pole position, well, that's going to make it controversial. But if Alpu Mutke does take pole position, then obviously it won't be worthy of a penalty. But now that Jay Ayor has gone quicker than Alpu Mutke, I think Alpu Mutke does have a bit more time in him. So we shall wait and see. But I think if he does end up losing pole position, I think Jay Ayor should be worthy of a penalty. What do you think?
Well, I think I would want the penalty if I were up Mutke, regardless of how I perform.
Well, we say that, and Alpu Mutke sets the quickest time, so hopefully that incident between those two can be put behind them. As you see, he's actually really quick through this first sector, hitting all the apexes, I say, as he goes wide. But gets a nice exit onto this back straight here. Up to 8th gear. Stays in 7th. That's an interesting choice. I've heard Brendan Lee, I believe, talk about not going up to 8th gear before because it no point of going up to 8th because it actually isn't worth it in some straights. He's backed off. Yes, so Alpu Mutke has backed off there. Who else is on a lap? Jay Ayor is coming into pits. Abajagu Jagua 16, I think, is on a lap coming down the hanger straight now. So I've got 2 notifications here. So Abajagu Jagua did come back into the pits. Jay Ayor is in the pits. Alpu Mutke will be coming into the pits. 2006 UK. He's on a lap. Could be. Looks like it's slower than what he was doing a minute ago. So I don't think he's going to set the world light here. But if we look at who this could help, if it stays like this to the end of the race, I know I'm predicting a lot of things there to stay the same. But Williams looking strong. Force India looking strong as well. So that could mean good points in the Constructors' Championship if it stays like this come the end of the race. But of course, like I said, a lot of laps between then and now. So cars will be returning back to the pits, preparing for their final runs in qualifying. Biff the Chipmunk now, one of the long-standing racers in this league. And looking back at the results, and unless he won it in the first 2010 season, I don't think he's ever got a podium here, which is surprising to me. But he would be wanting to change that today. He's in the 7th at the moment in qualifying. Okay, this is not the race, but he's 7th at the moment in qualifying. Hopefully he can bring about a bit of change. Okay, so Jay Ayor, he's wondering where he blocked Alpu Mutke. This could be interesting. It was through Maggots and Beckett's. We saw it. So 4 minutes remaining of the session as the Chipmunks decided to retire from the session. That was the tactical one, didn't crash into anyone or crash himself, more importantly, as he falls off the side of the track. But I mean, his AI doing that, so that is the best that he believes he can do. So Alpamukka in garage, J.I.O. in garage, Abhijagu making his way out onto track now. Orb King's on a flying lap. Let's see how this one goes. Coming back down to that hanger straight now. Alpamukka, if you want to comment on this one.
Well, this is the end of the lap, but this corner is kind of controversial in the game because if you touch it with 2 wheels, you can get a penalty. If you run completely wide, you can get away with it. And yeah, this is the straight, and it didn't improve.
So he did.
Though.
I don't think he improved, did he? No, he's on the same sort of time as he was a minute ago. So I don't think he's gonna have enough time to go back round pit.
He retired.
Yes, he's retired. But I say he won't have enough time to go back round pit and set another lap. So that is Orb King out of the session. Was that a mistake, do you think? Because the track's always best to come the end of the session.
Sorry?
Do you think it was a mistake to retire this early? Because I always find the track rubbers in come the end of the session.
He probably felt that it was the best he could get out of the car.
True. So as we cut away to Abhijagu all over the place there. Let's see what sort of thing lap time he can do. Setting up his lap now. Abhijagu coming through the final corner to start his lap. DRS open. Probably on hot lap mode. Probably on full rich revs. 7th gear through the first. That's a really nice take in the first corner. He's got to watch JR on the exit, but keeps away. Down into 3rd gear for these 2 corners. I don't really like these corners that much. If your car has a slight bit of understeer, your car understeers dramatically. Now coming back down this back straight towards the old pit entry, old pit building, pit straight. It's a really nice line. Abhijagu, this is a really tidy lap so far. Coming now towards the pit straight, the old pit straight, I should say. Coming up through the gears, 7th. And let's see how quick. Is this one flat? No. Downshift. Last year, I think I was just about taking that one flat, but this year, when I practiced the game, I couldn't get flat through that sector. This is turning out to be a really nice lap, Abhijagu 16. Got some real good pace coming through here. DRS open. 27.3, middle sector. I don't know if that's good, I don't know if it's bad, but yellow flag up ahead you'll have to watch out for. There's just a Hughes moves car on the inside there. Down to 5th gear goes. That corner took so nicely. Down into 3rd. Through the final Mickey Mouse chicane. What sort of time is this going to be? 25, 26, 126.2. Really good lap time there by Abhijagu, although it says it's not valid. There's a 126.2, but for some reason it hasn't come up as valid. I'm surprised, it didn't seem to go off the track anywhere there. I genuinely am surprised. Why wasn't that valid by Abhijagu 16? I do not know. So we enter the final 20 seconds of qualifying with Mattis currently in pole position. But Alpamukka is out on track now, trying to change that as Gogs27 really massively holds him up. I'm sorry, but Gogs27, you ruined Alpamukka's lap completely there. That was out of order. Completely out of order. Mattis has ended up with pole position. I don't know what Gogs27 was thinking there, but that was truly ridiculous from Gogs27. Clearly left something at home there. Completely agree with you, Alpamukka. The message you sent in the group chat. Completely agree. So let's have a look. As Gogs27 has retired from the session. Doesn't surprise me. That was very silly incident. Alpamukka could have been in pole position there. Unfortunately, is not due to that incident. Is J.I.O. on a lap? J.O. is just going to finish a lap off now, although he did go all 4 wheels off the circuit there. So let's wait and see if this lap will count. It's a slight improvement. that stays in third position. Fazillo, is he on a quick lap? No, Fazillo is not on a quick lap.
No.
Little Matt, Jeff Sington. Don't think Jeff Sington's going to... Yeah, so Jeff Sington has retired from the session. So in pole position is Mattis. In second is Alpu Mutke. In third is Jay Yayor. In fourth is Orb King. Well, that's probably one of his best starting positions this season for Orb King. Fifth is Abigagu Jagua. Sixth is Fazillo 97. In seventh is Storm 2006 UK. In eighth is Little Paul. Little Paul, what's his numbers? 78. In ninth is Biff the Chipmunk. In 10th is Bilton Matt. 11th is Jeff Sington. 12th is Hughes Moves. 13th is Hixie. 14th is Gogs27. And 15th is Blasmuk. Wow, it's not a good qualifying by Blasmuk there, surprising. And 16th is El Scape. So, that is the running order.
Everyone used the soft tires, right?
So Fazillo supposedly set his quickest time on the medium tyres, and Gogs27 supposedly set his quickest time on the medium tyres. So yeah, Gogs27 has apologised to Alp for that incident, for what happened there. So waiting for the final players, which is a bit odd. Just Gogs27 to join. Yeah, so it was all good. Everyone's apologised. We move on from that incident, but it definitely cost. So 2018 pole went to Mattis, and it was a 126.38. 126.138. And it was Mattis FTW, baby. It's probably the first time ever I've managed to write down all my notes quickly enough that I'll be able to do a proper intro in a minute into the race.
Fazillo was probably fast enough for pole position.
I agree. I think Fazillo probably was quick enough for pole position given the fact he's on medium tyres, so he is definitely one to watch out for in the race. But we've got the top six there, all separated by a second, so I think we should have quite an interesting race ahead of us. Let's make your prediction. Claudio, who do you think is going to win this race?
It's going to be between Mattis, Alpomutke and Fazillo, in my opinion.
Good.
I think I would always put my money on Mattis. He seems to be more reliable than Alpomutke.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Mattis is a good shout, but don't write off Orb King. I mean, he's in fourth, soft tyres.
Right. Yes.
He's had bad qualifyings this season. It's probably his first decent qualifying.
It's the Prost of the league.
Is that his first of the league he's had this year? A decent qualifying, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to be a contender come the end of the race. So here at Silverstone, 26 lap race with 18 turns. The track, a lap around this track, is 3.667 miles long. So let's run through the grid here at Silverstone. Taking pole position here in the British Grand Prix is Mattis FTW, baby. Won't be his first victory if he converts it today. In second place is Alpu Mutke, driving for Williams. The current championship leader will be hoping to convert this into race victory. Third place is Jay Yayor. Had a bit of a tangle in the first runs with Alpu Mutke, but soon turned that around to make sure that he is in third position. Fourth place, Orb King. My bet for race win today. 5-time champion, never be written off, but he has never won in Silverstone. He has got a pretty bad record considering it's his home race and he's raced here so many times. Fifth place, really strong qualifying for Abigagu Jagua 16. Wouldn't be surprised if by end of the season we'll be talking about him for race wins, but driving for Williams. Sixth place, Fazillo 97, driving for Ferrari here today. Ferrari currently third in the Constructors' Championship and Fazillo currently third in the Drivers' Championship. Seventh is Storm 2006 UK. Well, he'll be able to come through the field and take victory today. 8th place, driving for Red Bull, Liverpool 78, always reliable, always consistent. 9th place, Biffa Chipmunk, one of my favourite drivers. 10th, Bilton Matt, rounding off the top 10. 11th is Jeff Sington. 12th, Hughes Moves. 13th, hopefully lucky for him today, is Hixie 1, 2, 3. In 14th place, Gogs27 held up Alpin Mutke in his final qualifying lap there, but he did apologise, that is all clear now. 15th place is Blasmuk, and last but not least is El Scape 55. So as we wait for the drivers to form and start in the correct positions, let's wait and see what this start will bring.
Will Alpha Mutke get a decent start?
We shall wait and see, as the camera angle is really annoying here, but here we go. What do we want? Race car noises. When do we want them? Yeah, I can't really see the start as we go away off the line here, and Alpin Mutke is down to 3rd. Looks like a decent start though. Coming into turn 1, is there going to be any carnage near the back of the field? I can't see any debris flying, but Alpin Mutke drops down to 7th place, and Orb King up to 3rd already, all over the back of Jay Yayor there. Is he going to dive for the inside? No, he doesn't. Everyone coming through relatively unscathed there, but up front is Mattis FTW baby, taking the lead away from everybody else. Oh, it's a Force India going sideways. That's Storm 2006 UK at the back of the field there, dropping down. Who did he tangle with? There was another person involved there. Abu Chagua. Such a good qualifying session, but finds himself right at the back of the field there as he goes wide onto the grass. Has he got down? He's got a puncture, isn't he? No, it's just the way the tyre was reacting to the grass, but he is making his way back slowly. But out front still is Mattis FTW baby, creating a nice little gap there to the cars behind, as we see Little Paul probably being released closest to making a move on anybody. He comes up now behind Little Paul 78, going through Magnussen Beckett's. There's not really an overtaking place there, and he knows that. But looking at Alpu Mutke now in 4th position, all over the back of Orb King, coming back down the Hanger Straight. DRS, of course, is not available on the first lap. You see how close they all are, bunched up behind Jay Ayor there in 2nd position. This could be a very good race we have on our hands today. Alpha Mutke going a bit wide there, trying to work out if he should make a dive up there, but probably decided it wasn't going to be the best idea as we come to the end of the first lap of racing. It's Jeff Sington and Elscape got a nice little battle going on back there. Let's have a look what's going on down the field. Oh, it's gone. Elscape's going to be in the wall. Who was that? Who did he collide with? Elscape and someone else in the wall. Bilton Matt. The longest possible place. The worst place to have a crash, really, because you've got to drive so far back through the rest of the lap then. Elscape's got to keep his head together and try not to do anything silly with Bilton Matt as we go through that section of track, although he is just trying to keep out the way. Bilton Matt is disconnected. He is now AI, and Bilton Matt has retired from the session.
Alpamut is attacking.
So Alpin Mutke is all over the back. Thank you, Claudio. So Alpin Mutke is all over the back of Orb King. Let's see what happens here. Rides on board there. So he's down the inside.
He did it, I think.
Oh, no, not quite. Orb King can carry the speed through here. Now, Magnussen Beckett's is a really difficult place to overtake, but it is possible. We saw a brilliant move in real life from Max Verstappen on Rosberg a few years. Well,
that was in the rain, though.
It was in the rain. That made it even better, but it does mean it is possible to overtake through that section, as you see. Alpin Mutke diving to the outside. Can he do it? Not quite. Orb King will just run him out of road. They did both go off the track. They're coming into this final section of corners. Can he hold on to make it the inside? No, not quite. Orb King, again, aggressive but fair, forces Alpin Mutke off the road. So, as we see here, gaining on both of these is Vizillo 97. Storm 2006 UK looks like he's just about to make a move on Jeff Sington. Let's have a look at that one. Is he going to dive to the inside here? No, thinks better of it. But let's try and go back up to Alpin Mutke on Orb King as they come back down the straight. DRS wide open. What sort of move can make possible? As you see in the background, Vizillo is there and ready. Oh, very late defensive move by Orb King. Probably just on the boundaries of what's acceptable. What's your opinion on that, Claudio?
Owen is always really hard to overtake. He really defends a la Max Verstappen. but I don't think that was enough for a penalty. That happens all the time in real life too.
I completely agree. Just about allowed, I would say. So, here we go, through Max and Beckett. Alpha Mutke will know it's not really a real chance of overtaking Orpking through here. And if it does, it'll be overtaken this season easily. So, Orpking's messed up his exit here. Here we go. This should be the opportunity. What do you think?
Yeah, it's really close now. I think it's gonna make it. Yes.
Down the inside. Run Owen. Oh, Owen spins! Owen is spinning. Owen's facing the wrong way. Oh, that was very close. He's ghosted. But I don't think that was malicious or Alpha Mutke did anything wrong there. It was just a bit of a Vettel-esque spin.
No, they just bent the wheels.
So I just think, personally, that was just a Vettel-esque spin. It wasn't deliberate. There's nothing Alpha Mutke could have done to avoid that, and there's nothing really Orpking could have done to avoid that. But has he got front wing damage? No, he carries on unscathed, but it would have damaged his tyres a little bit, probably overheating them, if anything. But it does appear that he can carry on from this relatively unscathed. So that was drama. That's my bet of who will win this race gone out the window. And the curse for Orpking appears to continue. So who else is the big movers and shakers in this race? I think we've got a nice little battle developing here behind Liverpool 78. And JIO is now within a second of Mattis. But I think I'm going to stay on board with what's going on here. Where's Alpha Mutke? He's in third. Nice little, even further down the field. If we look, we've got Jeff Sington, Storm 2006 UK and Blasmuk all fighting for the same bit of road. Let's see, let's ride on board with Blasmuk here, going through Maggots and Beckett. So let's see what happens. Setting up a move.
What are you watching?
I'm watching the Jeff Sington, Storm 2006 UK and Blasmuk battles. They all go down the hanger straight. It's going to be 3 wide. Not quite, but Blasmuk seems to come up on top from that battle. Nice move there by Blasmuk. Storm 2006 UK wants to correct that and see if he can come back into position. Jeff Sington's still there. Fazillo 97 is now getting close to Alpha Mutke, but we'll stay with this for the moment as we see if this settles down. There's the Abidjagu in the background. Mustn't forget how good Abidjagu was in qualifying and how he just had an unfortunate incident at the beginning of the race, which meant that he lost positions. So coming into this DRS zone now, riding with Storm 2006 UK, Blasmuk, Jeff Sington, Abidjagu. Seems to have got a really good exit there, Abidjagu. So let's ride on board with him. We'll see the battle ahead. Dives to the inside. Makes a nice move. Storm 2006 makes his way past Blasmuk. Carries quite a lot of speed. Outruns himself going through that corner there. It's Fazillo 97, I think, we have to ride on board now. Ooh, a bit of contact, but I'm going to stay with this just for the moment, see if anything happens. No, Hicksy 123 all over the back of Orpking as well. Loads of racing going on here. Fazillo 97, let's see what's going on with him, because this is going to be the podium position. Keep an eye out on Hicksy though, and keep an eye out on the battle down the field. It's Hicksy! Fazillo in the wall! In the wall on the hanger straight. Got too close, lost downforce behind Alpha Mutke, and that forced him straight into the wall. So really unfortunate accident there for the Ferrari driver. Fazillo 97 to DNF. Won't be another podium today. He's third in the championship, but will it stay that way? But I won't if it carries. I don't think it will, to be honest. And as Murray Walker would say, yes, big. Okay, so let's have a run through of the order. In first place currently, still from pole position, is myatesftw baby. In second place is Jay Yayor, less than a second behind myatesftw baby. As we see, there's a yellow flag in sector 1. Third place, Alpha Mutke currently. Fourth is Little Paul 78. In fifth place is Biffa _ Chipmunk. Sixth place is Orpking, trying to recover from that spin he had early on after a collision with Alpha Mutke. Seventh, Storm 2006 UK, Orpking's teammate for this race, just behind Orpking. Blasmuk in 8th place. Really unfortunate, but Abidjagu is in 9th currently. 10th place is Gogs 27. 11th is Hicksey, 1, 2, 3. In 12th place for Haas is Hughes Moves. 13th is Jeff Sington. And down last but not least is L Scaife, 55, trying to make the hard tyre strategy work. So, let's have a little look at who can make a move here. Storm 1006 UK is actually really gaining on Orb King here. I really think Orb King's got an issue, don't you, ETC?
Maybe he got some wind damage in the contact. No, I didn't notice.
I didn't see any front wing damage just looking at Orb King's car, but maybe something with the tyres from that spin, because it wasn't quite a long time. Maybe it was going sideways.
Yeah, maybe it's the tires.
But it would be unusual this early on in the race to be experiencing tyre issues, I would say. So if you start on the soft tyres, you probably get to about lap 10, lap 11. Or probably a bit earlier than that actually. Lap 9. And then maybe try pitting onto the medium tyres, and that will make the one stop work. So this is really concerning for Orb King's championship hopes, as his teammate is all over the back of him trying to get a move done. But you see they're both getting caught up now behind Biffa Chipmunk. Well, you see how close Orb King is to the back of Biffa Chipmunk. Going through Magnus and Beckers onto the hanger straight now, so he'll probably want to make a move down the end of the hanger straight. So I was not looking, and Orb King has made a move past Biffa Chipmunk. Next to make a move will be Storm 2006 UK. You saw how close he was behind his teammate before they got stuck into that battle. But Biffa Chipmunk could be on for another move here. He could retake the position. That's clearly what Storm 2006 needs if he is going to get back past his teammate. That was close. He's very close racing between the two of them. Obviously Storm 2006 UK is going to be having a very good sight of this, and Orb King will not get DRS, but Biffa Chipmunk and Storm 2006 UK will, as Storm 2006 UK thinks of a move on Biffa Chipmunk, but because of the presence of Orb King there, it just wasn't possible. Biffa Chipmunk probably compromised his exit a bit too much. They're trying to get a decent run on Orb King through that. Let's ride on board with Storm 2006 UK. Is this going to be a move any second now, Claudio? It appears we don't have Claudio. So, we're going through Maggots and Beckett's, trying to, really clever there by Storm 2006 UK, trying to avoid dirty air off the back of Biffa. Get the exit. Nice. So let's have a look. I see his rear tyres are going off slightly though. And Blasmuk has joined this battle as well. Nice to have so many cars all racing each other in one place. So a bit of a cork in the bottle is Orb King there. As they all decide it's time to pit.
Owen is pitting.
Owen's pitted. And Biffa Chipmunk decided to pit there. Look, did he get front wing damage? Speeding in the pit lane penalty.
He hit Owen.
He hit Owen, but he got speed in the pit lane penalty, but that's not always accurate on here. So we're not quite sure about that. As you see, double stacking going on at Red Bull. But Orb King. Onto, is that the hard tyres? Let's have a look. Tyres. Yes, so Orb King's decided the hard tyres, probably because he has to
Is it just me? Do the tyres look blue?
So, yes, the hard tyres are blue.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a bit confusing. They changed it for this season.
Okay.
No one ever uses it for some reason. So, Orb King, probably because he had to pit a bit earlier, had to come in for the hard tyres. But Storm 2006 UK, let's focus on him at the moment. He is all over the back of Blasmuk, of course on softer compound tyres. But can he make a move on Blasmuk's stick? And of course these two will now be racing Biffa Chipmunk and Orb King, who have just pitted. Actually Storm 2006 UK got a bit of a weird exit out that long fast corner. I remember last season when we were racing here, Claudia, that through Mags and Beckett's, once your tyres went off, it was just like driving on ice, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I remember last year was a good race. Following Claudio for most of the race, just couldn't get past him due to loads of connection issues. And also because he was just a tiny bit quicker than me, to be honest. But back to today. Storm 2006 UK thinks this is the time to pit. So let's follow Storm 2006 UK as he comes into the pit, because of course we're measuring how he does against Orb King and Biffa Chipmunk. There was a 5-second penalty there apparently for Storm 2006 UK as JIO decides he's going to pit as well up ahead. So let's see what sort of thing he can do. Pits, lap 10, this is medium tyres. So he thinks from lap 9 he can get to the end on medium tyres, which of course will be differing from what Orb King and Biffa Chipmunk have decided to do. How far away is Orb King and Biffa Chipmunk?
Alphamut doesn't look like he has the pace to match Mattis.
I'd completely agree with that. Completely agree with you. So he's coming out between Orb King and Biffa Chipmunk. So something's happened to Biffa Chipmunk because he is way behind that battle. So I guess maybe he did get that 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Would be my presumption. He did get held up in his pit stop for 5 seconds. That would make sense to me. Hixie123 I think is the closest to make an overtake at the moment. All over the back of Hughes moves. Hixie of course has pitted, so Hughes moves. But Hughes moves pitted much earlier on. Hixie123 driving the Toro Rosso. Not in the top 10 of the championship at the moment, but with Claudio not racing, it's always possible to get to the top 10 any time. So, all over the back of Hughes' moves is Hixie. So, Mattis and Alpumutke decided this is the time to pit. As Hughes moves, spins! Oh, that was close. He spins around, but I thought he was going to wipe out Hixie then. But luckily he didn't. Just the pressure, I guess, of having someone behind. Really ruining his rear tyres. They're just putting the car
Alphamut is leaving the pits.
So Alpumutke is now coming out of the pits. Thank you. And he does rejoin in front of Gogs 27.
White fourth place.
Fourth place. So Blasberg is the only car left to pit at the moment. He's quite far off JIO, is Alpumutke, but if you look, the top four all have medium tyres on, but of course Blasberg probably be going on a bit further on these tyres than the other two did, so you probably won't see him pitting for a while. So let's do a run through of the race order so far. Blasberg currently in the lead, but will be having to pit at some point in the session. He's in the lead. Second place is Mattis FTW Baby. In third place, but technically second, is Jay Yayor. Fourth place, Alpumutke. Fifth, Gogs 27. Sixth, Little Paul 78, who just got a 3-second time penalty. In seventh is Orb King, not going well for him. Eighth is Storm 2006 UK. I'm going to jump back up to Little Paul here. Little Paul and Gogs in a battle. Oh, I thought it was going to be contact then. But Little Paul 78 gets past Gogs 27 fairly easily actually in the end.
Yeah, it's much quicker.
So Storm 2006 is in 8th. 9th, Biffa Chipmunk. 10th, Abajagu Jagua. And 11th is Hixie, but he's going to try to change that with a move on Abajagu Jagua. Nice switching of the lines as they come through the final corner. Oh, that was close between Hixie 123 and Abajagu Jagua. Orb King all over the back of Gogs 27 as well. That should be a fairly simple move. But this move, this Hixie 123 Abajagu Jagua battle is for position, as I see Hixie 123 probably experiencing a bit of lag there. Oh no, he just dropped right back. Just dropped way off the pace. But talking about dropping way off the pace, Gogs 27, I don't know what his strategy is, but I think he's left it too late to pit, don't you?
Yeah, I don't understand what strategy he's on, because he started on soft tires, say everyone is not going to pit again, so
he's going to have to pit again in a minute. He's just losing time. Everyone else in front of him is pitted for the mediums. I don't understand why he hasn't. As we see, Blasberg ahead, pit for the first time. What tyres will he be fitting as he drives into the pit lane? so looks like the hard tyres have been prepared for his car. It's a very odd strategy, that.
He probably got it wrong.
I would presume he did, because surely if you started on mediums, you'd last a bit longer and go onto the soft tyre. He's even behind Gogs 27. That should be an easy overtake in a moment. So, lap 13 of the British Grand Prix, and currently there are no British drivers on the podium. First place is myatesftw, baby. Second is Jay Yayor. In third place is Al Pumuk, as you see yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. Fourth place, Liverpool 78. Fifth place, not a very happy race for him, but Orb King. Sixth place, Storm 2006 UK, who we must note is on the medium tyres, and Orb King is on the hard, so that will be one to watch out for in a moment. Seventh place is Gogs 27. Eighth place is Blasmuk. Ninth is Biffa Chipmunk. 10th is Abijagu Jagua. 11th is Hixie 123. 12th is Jeff Sington. 13th is Elscape 55. And 14th is the AI of Hughes Moves. So let's ride.
Jayor is in the lead.
Jayor is in the lead. Why has myatesftw, baby, got a penalty? So on my screen it says Mattis is in the lead.
Why?
Because Mattis is first and Jayor is second. Is Mattis got a 3-second
No.
time penalty?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why I said it.
Okay, so Mattis has got a 3-second time penalty, so of course Jayor will technically be in the lead. He has got a lap older tyres compared to Mattis.
I just checked. Jayor doesn't have a penalty.
Thank you, Claudio. So, as Claudio just said, Mattis is actually technically second. He needs to open up a gap of 3 seconds to Jay Yayor because he has that 3-second time penalty. So, let's go down to Storm 2006. Actually, Abijagu Jagua. Let's ride with him. He is closing in drastically on Biffa Chipmunk. He is on the softer tyres compared to Biffa Chipmunk. And does look like he's got a bit more time. And I have an announcement to make, which is going to make this race interesting. I know, Claudio, you're going to love this announcement. Rain.
Sorry, I didn't.
Rain
Here, I
in
was
10 minutes. Rain is coming, Claudio, in 10 minutes, supposedly. How's that going to mix up the order?
That could spice things up, as it will depend on who gets the strategy right. As we see, Abijagua is on the inside, he made the move.
It was a very nice move there from Abijagu Jagua, 16 on Biffa Chipmunk. Very, very nice move indeed. So rain, that could spice things up. I always fancied my chances in the rain whenever it rained on this game against everyone else. I don't know about you, but how confident were you when you were racing in driving in the wet?
It's weird. It's weird because at the beginning I always struggled in the rain. But maybe it was just the game because I was always fine in the rain. Then in the latest games I always hoped for the rain because I would outpace Altmut K, who was the fastest, you know.
Exactly. I used to enjoy the rain. I remember back in the earlier days of the championship when I wasn't so good. Whenever it rained, I always found myself nearer to the front. Always do like the wet conditions.
Do you remember that race? China,
2014, I believe.
Yeah.
That was, yes, wet conditions, you and I battling it out for the race win. Put the hairpin on the last lap, wasn't it? I got past you.
Yeah, I was on lean. I forgot to put it on Rich, but yeah, that was deserved.
That was my first race win in the league, and of course, my first win for Sauber. I've only ever won for Sauber, which is quite embarrassing. But yeah, it was a really good race. I really enjoyed that race. I just remember like physically shaking about how I could actually eventually, after so many starts, win a race. I never thought like it would back in those days, let alone win 2 championships as well. But yes, we've had some very good memories in the wet. And of course last year we had some good memories here as well, where you did come through to win the race. So tell us about that, Claudio.
Yeah, I won with the fourth setup. I think this was my best win. I proved it in the chat. There was a bug last year when sometimes you loaded the setup, but it switched back to the fourth setup. So I had to do the whole race with the fourth setup. And surprisingly, I qualified within 7/10 with 7/10 from Kalek, who was driving with a custom setup. And yeah, in the race, when was winning, then he probably didn't know that I had the fourth setup. Could have managed it better, and he spun, and I won the race.
Exactly, it was a really good race win. I watched back the race earlier actually, and it was a very, very good race from yourself. I was surprised how quick I was on the qualifying, and I was watching the last lap and I was like, oh, did I get pole? I can't remember getting pole here. And then I messed it up through Maggots and Beckett's and cut the corner, but I was at least 5/10 up on my lap time, and that would have got me pole position. But of course this race, virtual safety car. Why is there a virtual safety car? Escape is out the race. So we just, as we were reminiscing there is a virtual safety car in this race. So this would help. So Blasmuk's got a drive through penalty for speeding under the safety car, virtual safety car. So that's going to help Abijagu Jagua and Biff Chipmunk. So Elscape missed the break points. Apologies for that. So I guess he was the one who caused this virtual safety car. So this will be... Orb King's really gained from this virtual safety car in Little Pool, isn't he?
Probably isn't respecting the Delta.
You've got to really respect the Delta when racing.
Yeah, it's too fast. It's too fast.
So he'll have to slow down in a minute. Or maybe Little Pool 78.
Slowing down.
Maybe Little Pool 78 isn't going as quick as possible. So now DRS is enabled. Virtual safety car has disappeared, and we can see that Orb King is now within a second, but Biffa Chipmunk is closer to Alpu Mutke, not Alpu Mutke, sorry, Biffa Chipmunk is all over the back of Abijagu Jagua, which could be the battle to watch, but of course Abijagu Jagua did get in front of Biffa Chipmunk earlier, but is this going to be an opportunity for Biffa Chipmunk to take back that position from Abijagu Jagua? It does look close. Of course, we're also keeping an eye out on this Orb King Little Pool battle at the same time. Can Biffa Chipmunk
When did you say it was gonna rain?
So, I was told it's going to rain in 10 minutes. What time did that message get sent? I don't know when that will be. But yeah, so it's probably been about 5 minutes ago. I should have really looked at the clock. So, yeah. I presume that it's going to rain quite soon. I can't see any signs of rain at the moment, but that virtual safety car will of course increase the chance of it raining before the end of the race. We could have a situation like that Spa race in 2007, or was it 2008, where Kimi and Hamilton were on the last few laps and they didn't pit for wet tyres, and Kimi crashed famously. Hamilton got disqualified, not disqualified, he got a penalty for not giving back the position, which was controversial at the time, but Massa did come home to take the win after penalties. Who's that going really wide? Someone's into the wall. Was it Hixie? Hixie nearly went flying into the wall there. That was very close indeed. Abijagu Jagua on Blasmuk. DRS wide open. Gets the move done. I don't think Blasmuk served that drive-through penalty yet. We'll wait and see. Yes, Blasmuk's now diving into pits to take that drive-through penalty. He's got a 5-second stop-go penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I don't think that is true, but that does glitch sometimes, but that would be very Maldonado-esque. So, running through the top 10 once more, keeping an eye out for the first signs of rain, but MyatesftW Baby is currently in the lead. Second place is Jay Yayor. Third, Alpu Mutke. Fourth, Little Paul 78. And fifth is Orb King, really trying to keep with Little Paul 78. He needs those points against Alpu Mutke. He's just got a 3-second time penalty, but I don't think he's going to be close enough. And of course, let's remind ourselves that myatesftw has a 3-second time penalty, but its gap now to Jayor is enough that he will still inherit the win come post penalties. So, Orb King. Oh, was that a flash?
It's
yes,
raining, yeah.
It's raining. I just saw the flash on the screen. It is now starting to rain. I think I'm right. What would you do? It's going to rain. It's going to get wet about lap 24, 25, isn't it? When you really start feeling the effects of rain. Would you pit?
Yeah. In the game, it always takes a bit too long for the track to actually get wet. But no, I wouldn't pit because only 6 laps left, so it would probably end like Kimi Räikkönen and Hamilton in 2008.
I think this is going to be quite the ending to this race. If you're watching this now, you don't want to turn away. I think we're going to have some really good racing here. So Orb King, I think, is the one to watch at the moment, as he is all over the back of Little Paul 78. We'll be trying to get that 4th position, of course, but in the wet anything can happen. A lot of things can be thrown up out of nowhere. You see the rain coming over the top of the halo and the chassis. Do you think Orb King will get the move done?
Yeah, he's in the DRS range, so probably.
I don't think he'll get it done in going into this corner, but of course... Oh, he does! He goes for the dive! Oh, there was... Someone's front wing flew off there. Whose front wing got damaged there? There's no front wing damage visible, but I saw a bit of debris fly off. There was a bit of a dive bomb, but I think it was it was a fair.
It looked blue, like the Red Bull wing.
Yeah, possibly a bit of Red Bull wing. Yeah, I see what you mean. The right end plate of the car was left as you look at it front on, but it looks like he's missing a bit of the complex stuff there. Of course, Orb King and Little Paul 78 are best friends in real life, which makes the racing even more spicier between them. A lot of respect. Although, it could also be a bit of Owen's front wing. I can't quite tell, to be honest. But how's the conditions out there?
Owen's wing looks fine to me.
Yeah, I think you could be right there. Owen's wing looks all right. So, I would presume as well it's Little Paul, just by the way he's dropped off the back of Orb King. Blasmuk, let's see him. Blasmuk coming up behind Jeff Sington in these conditions. What will happen? So he's coming up behind him now. I think he'll get him in this DRS zone, to be honest. It's 2006 UK.
By the way, I think Gox was waiting for the rain.
He could be, yes. Gogs could be waiting for the rain, hence why he didn't pit so early.
Yes, that was a weird strategy. This is the only explanation, I think.
True, very true. So as I ride on board with Blasmuk here, all over back of Jeff Sington, we see that Storm 2006 UK has gained massively on Little Paul 78. I think Blasmuk will get the move done going down this old pit straight, going into the quick right-hander. Yes, he gets the move done on Jeff Sington. Jeff Sington gets a bit of a tail-happy response from his car. There's Little Paul is battling away with Storm 2006 UK. The AI gets in the way. The AI, so that's Storm 2006 UK with front wing damage now. Little Paul 7 as Storm 2006 UK ran into the back of the AI of Hixie 123. Very inconvenient for the both of them, but of course we do believe that, yes, so you can see there that the front wing damage is quite massive on Storm 2006 UK compared to Little Paul 78, but Little Paul 78 does have front wing planet damage on the right hand side of his front wing. So I believe this will be the only battling we'll see until the rain gets really bad. How do you think the conditions are out there, Claudio?
I can tell whether the lap times are going up, but it looks like the track is getting wet pretty quickly. Maybe the game has changed, I don't know.
It does look, if I'm riding on board now of Alpin Mutke, he seems to be really struggling in these conditions.
Do you remember how long it took last year when it started raining?
Yeah, I can't remember which race it was, but I pitted really early thinking, oh, it's going to get really wet. It was Russia, I think it was. 2 years ago, Russia.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
I pitted.
That was why I was saying that.
Because I pitted thinking, I'll put the wet tyres on, and then it just never got wet. And then as soon as I came back in, put the dry tyres on, it got really wet. I was really annoyed. So I had to do stupid amount of stops.
Yeah, because it looked like there was a storm, but the track was still dry. It was weird.
It was very odd. But I think people are starting to struggle with the grip levels. It does look a bit slippy out there. But of course, it depends if it's just going to be light rain or heavy rain. The key is DRS is still enabled, isn't it? As soon as DRS is disabled, you know that's the time to come in and pit. Storm66 UK is trying to get past Little Pool 78 still. Seems to be favouring these conditions a bit more compared to Little Pool 78. So no one's got the soft tyres on. It's always the softer the tyre for some reason on these games. Helps you with grip in wet conditions. I don't know how that actually works. Because a slick tyre shouldn't make that much difference.
It's starting to look like a rally race, though.
Say that again, sorry, Claudio?
It's starting to look like a rally race.
It does. I would say within the next... It's going to be the last couple of laps. You don't want to turn away from this.
I don't think you can make up the time you lose in the pits if you... That's the argument.
I think you could be right there, unless it goes instantly to heavy rain, which I doubt it will. But let's look at these gaps, and none of these gaps are closing up. But Storm 1006 UK... Exactly, Storm 1006 UK has decided this is the time to pit. We'll get front wing repair. I guess if you're a Biffa Chipmunk, Storm 1006 UK, it's probably worth coming into the pits, because you can still come out. Jeff Singleton, probably worth coming into the pits as well, because you're not going to lose anything from coming into pits. So what tyres does he fit? He just gets
nothing to lose.
You got a 5-second time penalty. Then it's to change your front wing, so you probably will lose quite a bit from this, if I'm honest. But yeah, if I was someone like Biffa Chipmunk, or yeah, if I was Biffa Chipmunk, I'm probably still coming to the pits. Little Paul 78, maybe him, worth a risk. I mean, there's not many points between 5th and 6th. So if I was Little Paul 78, would you throw on some soft tyres? Go intermediate tyres?
Me?
Yeah, if you were in like Storm Style, not Little Paul's position. What about Alpin Mutke? Will he come to pits?
No, I think Alpin Mutke.
Well, he's
ahead of Owen. I can see him pitting now.
He's made his choice, and he's quicker than Owen, so there's not really much point for Alpin Mutke to pit, I don't think. But let's remember, while we go back
and
to...
also this lane is extremely slow, so you lose a lot of time there. It's like 60 miles per hour, something like that.
It is very, very slow. But
long.
So if we ride on board Storm 1006 UK, he has a lot more grip than everyone else. But as you say, I think the loss is more than the gain in these conditions. He will get past Plasmuk, I think. It's just the higher amount of grip he has is what I'm trying to say. But let's remember, let's go back up to Orb King a minute though. He's spun, and he's found himself all the way back up into 4th at the moment, which I think is incredible, to be honest. Which will annoy Alpin Mutke a little bit, because there was going to be a big points gain over Orb King, but he does finish in front. It's a little bit... It opens up the gap a little bit more, which is what you need to remember this stage of the season. You need to finish in front of your rivals. myatesftw, baby, will probably force us... Well, he will. He'll be on 100 points, and he'll come in front of Fazillo. So it will be him that's going to be one of the closest rivals. Oh! Storm 1006 UK slid off there and wiped out the markable very dramatically and decided to retire from the session. Which seems a bit stupid to me. Why would you retire from the session when you're in that position? Okay, a bit odd, but Mattis is right on board with him in the lead, edging it round ever so slowly in these conditions. It does look slippery out there, doesn't it, Claudio?
Yeah, probably it's time to pit now if the race wasn't over.
I would agree. If the race wasn't over, it would have been time to pit for definite. I'm just hoping that no one spins. That would make quite the dramatic ending.
It's driving like Hamilton at Spa.
He is indeed.
Really, really slow.
Tiptoeing it around as much as he can.
Yeah, Jairo is a track away, so...
It's fast corners that you get nervy on, isn't it? 'Cause you never know how much to commit to them. But he seems to have a real feel for the grip in these conditions.
Yeah. Yeah, he pulled away a lot from Jairo.
He has made a big gap. They've all the gaps have really opened up, but taking pole position in qualifying really helped him with his race strategy. He is now coming around. Yes, carry on.
No, Mutke was probably a contender, but fucked up at the start, so
exactly.
It was a very easy race for Mattis from there on.
But to take the win today in Britain, not a British winner, but Mattis, FTW baby, crosses the line to take the win in Silverstone. Second place crossing the line is Jay Yayor. Third place is Alpu Mutke when he finally crosses the line. I did see there before Mattis crossed the line that DRS was disabled, so it only is now really wet enough for the intermediates to make a massive impact. Orb King, given what happened, I think he'll probably be quite happy with this race result. If I'm honest, he doesn't lose too many points overall. Crosses the line to take fourth position. So you've got 5-second time penalty. This will pull if he's quick, but I don't think because he'll probably have penalties. Well, yeah. So he isn't actually. So he closed the gap a little bit. Liverpool 78 in 5th place. Abajagu Jagua 16 had a really good qualifying, but couldn't really capitalise after that first lap incident. As he comes towards the line, making sure he does complete the race. Finishes 6th. 7th is Biffa
Had a good
Chipman.
comeback, huh?
Sorry?
Had a good comeback.
Good comeback from Abajagu Jagua. Completely agree. Blasmuk now in 8th place, getting ready to cross the line if he makes it that far. Hopefully he will. If he doesn't, I'll feel really bad now. Oh, he doesn't. Oh, gosh. I thought I nearly cursed it.
The strategy was worse than this, though.
Exactly. And 9th place is going to be Jeff Sington.
Still finished 10th.
You're the meat in the sandwich. Absolutely incredible. Oh boy. Over it now.
So, here we see Mattis on the top step of the podium. No British drivers in the top 3. British drivers don't fare well here, and the Orb King's curse continues. But let's have a run through of the top 10 today. In first position, taking another win in this league, is Mattis FTW baby, followed in second by Jay Yayor. Third, Alpu Mutke, really good result. Fourth, Orb King. Fifth, Liverpool 78. Sixth, Abajagu Jagua. Seventh, Biffa Chipmunk. Eighth, Blasmuk. Ninth, Jeff Sington. And to round off the top 10 is Gogs 27, driving for the McLaren F1 team. So, thank you for joining us today, and thank you, Claudio, for also joining me in the commentary box.
Welcome.
So that was round 10 of the Dynamic Racing League from Silverstone. Where is the next race? I don't know where the next race is, but join us.
Germany or Hungary? Yeah.
I think it it's Germany, I believe, isn't it? So
Yeah,
Germany.
German, yeah.
Join us for the German Grand Prix in a few weeks' time. It could be next week, it could be 2 weeks. I don't know, to be honest. I think it is in 2 weeks' time. Thank you for joining us here today. I hope you've enjoyed watching this session, and we shall see you next time. Thank you very much indeed.